Hello ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for attending this presentation of Sentient Code Studios' proposed redesign and relaunch of Hi-Res Studios' online game, Global Agenda Standoff. On the agenda is the game's current state of affairs and a new adventure where all players find themselves in the midst of two powerful warring factions. Proposed changes that include improved gameplay and new features, and a brief explanation of the target audience. Global Agenda has a really excellent premise that we fully intend to capitalize upon. In an effort to improve upon the strengths and weaknesses of the Global Agenda game by Hi-Res Studios, this presentation will outline key changes for a successful relaunch. It will also show how to build upon the player base and greatly improve the overall value of this game. In addressing applicable changes, we will begin by outlining our studio's new story, which will change the geopolitical landscape. Furthermore, we will address the game's weaknesses and strengths as it relates to proposed changes and how these changes will appeal to an even larger audience of subscribers. A new story. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The alliances are beginning to become complacent in their power grabs, thinking that they have nothing to fear from the Commonwealth. Global Agenda. The standoff between the United Space Confederacy and the Commonwealth. Who will be victorious? This new story builds upon the existing paradigm and enriches the depth of the story that is yet to be explored. Rumors of a Commonwealth offensive loom heavily over the Free Alliances, and they do not stand a chance against the Commonwealth's military might. Facing what seemed to be a certain doom, the Alliances must come to grips with a new player in the area, the United Space Confederacy, whose true motives are yet unknown. This new story builds upon the existing paradigm and enriches the depth of the story that has yet to be explored. In a nutshell, the player will have more freedom, more to discover about the game's history and events, more environments to explore, more things to build, more equipment and gadgets with which to play, more threats with which to confront, more. Yet players are always hungry for more. The game, as it stands currently, cannot satisfy such hunger. What would players like more of? The current weaknesses that will be improved upon are instance spaces, repetitive grinding zones, randomly chosen mission teammates, combat theaters restricted to land, no overarching plot, little Commonwealth activity, subscriber-only alliance membership, and a non-adjustable user interface. Players like gaming freedom, to be able to escape the monotony of repetition and landlocked combat, to be able to organize mission teams, to be able to set up user interface to their own preference. There also seems to be little in the way of an all-powerful, menacing Commonwealth. There is little to entice the player to become a subscriber. The relaunch focuses on the following environmental changes: continuous spaces with realistic weather and persistent global wrapping, player-initiated changes to levels and maps allowing users to help build the Global Agenda world, randomized mission environments so no mission will be like the previous, land, water, air, and space, randomized mission sites forming entire cities. In addition, there will be the introduction of underwater and floating cities. Plus, the adventure will not be limited to cities and terror-based missions. In order to encourage the player to experience the full privileges of a subscriber, such enticements will include the ability to shape the landscape as well as additional combat operation theaters on the sea and in the air and space. Random missions will reflect such additional environments. Here are some examples. Players will now be able to select missions that they want to embark on by skill level, leaving random missions in the past. Persistent global Commonwealth activity will affect the gameplay, creating hotspot missions to select based on skill levels. The Global Agenda combat world will include the whole world, all the different environments, and even extend into outer space. One of the biggest changes that was missing will be the meaningful NPC presence with quests, mission, and rare gear rewards for completing tasks. Furthermore, with the introduction of Operational Hotspot, the player can witness and participate in the running battles between the Commonwealth and the United Space Confederation. Players will also meet NPCs with whom they may accept further missions or learn additional information. In addition of the new environments, we will be introducing new obstacles and possible allies by the introduction of other biological life forms. Rabbits, dolphins, sharks, horses, and even hawks and bobcats as depicted in our initial prototype sketching, and many, many more. Some enhanced animals like canines and birds can be used as pets for certain classes. One subscriber perk will be in the ability to acquire smart beasts. These are nanite, cybernetically enhanced animals with unique abilities that can augment the agent's senses, and each have their own special attack form. While non-subscribers will now be able to join an alliance, they will not have the advantage of in-game voice chat with other players. In addition to the worldwide story, there will also be a new solo player story wherein the Commonwealth makes an attack upon Dome City. Another subscriber perk will be the gaining of a unique class mech and the ability to learn new sciences and technologies that further enhance the player's avatar, smart beast, or class mech. This relaunch will keep the current players interested longer, as well as appealing to a wider array of players worldwide due to the massive overhaul of the current system. The sun never sets on Global Agenda. In addition, this proposal will appeal to hardcore first-person shooter fans and MMO players alike. It will also have a better retention of the current player base by adding to the longevity of the game overall. Furthermore, with more gameplay options and an in-depth story, it will surely bring about more players to the fray as well. This relaunch will improve upon the existing strengths of the game, as well as incorporating exciting and new forms of gameplay that will enhance the player's enjoyment and be better prepared to rival the top competitors in its genre. Global Agenda. Stand off. The agenda is changing. The landscape is changing. And the climate is changing. If Global Agenda is to survive the fad phase, then it must take on a life of its own, where the players must confront the enemy's agenda in any environment and in any circumstances. That is what players want. On behalf of Sentient Code Studios, I wish to thank you all for attending our Global Agenda Standoff presentation. Sentient Code Studios.